Right, I know it's been a very long time since I've done a video. I've just been busy. I haven't really driven the car that much. I've done a few sensible modifications, like fitting the factory exhaust, brand new one from Hendy Parts. So cheers Simon for sorting me out with that. So I've got factory exhaust, a decat with a flexi pipe that I welded in. Other than that, I've just been doing bits and bobs on the car, and one of the things I did talk about in a previous video was a replacement ECU. So I opted for the ECUMASTER Honda S2000 plug and play ECU. I also got some other goodies with it. I got a data logger, which is just down there. If I put the keys in the ignition, you'll see that that is now flashing, which means that that is recording information, but it also has Bluetooth on it, so I'll demonstrate the Bluetooth functions now. Right, so with this ECUMASTER add-on, not only does it act as a data logger, it also provides Bluetooth for you to connect your phone to, or a tablet. So as you can see, I'm connected at the moment, and you can set the display to show different things. Obviously not all of it is applicable, but you can edit that. So if you just look now, I've got the ignition on. If I press the throttle, you can see there. So that will display air fuel ratio, anything you want really. You just press the settings and it will do it. It's a good little feature. My idea was to maybe get a phone holder and have it here, which means it is all available for display, and it would mean in theory I could do away with these gauges, but I still think the air fuel ratio gauge and the oil pressure one is worth having, just in terms of, you know, you actually got a visible thing, and sometimes Bluetooth can be a bit of a chore. Main reason being that I use Bluetooth from my phone to my radio, and Bluetooth from this data logger to my phone, so the two of them are trying to work at the same time, and I've had a few connection issues. So with the app running, you can see now the car ignition's on, it's data logging, so just ignore that. We can stop that, and we can go to open log, and if I find the SD card, which is there, if I find the largest one, which is this 18 megabyte one, you'll see that this log is an hour long, and what this means is the whole time I've been driving the car, it's been taking readings, and what this means is that I've got an hour's worth of data, a lot of it full throttle runs, every type of driving imaginable. So I switched off O2 feedback for this run and drove the car for an hour with no O2 feedback. Now all of this information or data can then be used in auto tune. So my car's got two maps, so if we click this, you'll now see you've got a fuel map, and basically what you've got is all these measurements are the same at the moment, so I've corrected these, but you can see all these samples. So this is number of air fuel ratio samples the car's taken, or the ECU's taken across the rev range. So you can see cruising, we've got up to 5,000 samples, idle 7,000, obviously where you're sitting at traffic lights, and you can see as it goes up in the boost range, then I've got these samples. So what this means is that all the time the ECU is looking at the air fuel ratio that it's supposed to be and the air fuel ratio it actually is, and it's able to look at the two of them together and say, well, the VE, which is basically how long the injector is open for, is this, it should have been that, and it will do it. Auto tune, hit it, and it'll be pretty much bang on. When I say pretty much bang on, the only issue on this car is VTEC really, where it switches over, and obviously you want a lot of samples there to make sure it's accurate. But like I said, on this map, there's two VTEC tables. So what I mean by two VTEC tables, there's a table for outside of VTEC and a table for when you are in VTEC. Software, I really like it, easy to use. So if I want to look at fueling, for example, and wideband feedback, then you see all the settings there, whatever you can do. I've got mine switched on, but as you can see, although it says it goes up to 9,000 RPM, it won't go into positive boost. So basically it will do wideband feedback when I'm cruising, but as soon as I'm going full throttle and near atmospheric pressure or above it, it will stop using it. Other things, let's have a look. Fuel cut, you can adjust your fuel cut settings, when it does it, what conditions. It is a very good ECU, very easy to use. The auto tune is amazing. Like, I can't overstate how good it is. It won't get you perfectly there, but it'll get you 90% of the way there, probably 95% of the way there. And it's always going to react faster than the tuner. I mean, most modern widebands might react in 50 milliseconds, which is pretty fast, and obviously as technology moves on, it'll get faster and faster. So it'll react fast enough for the ECU to be able to make fuel, for the ECU to know what's better fuel wise than what I know, basically. I mean, obviously you've still got critical things like ignition, timing and stuff like that you need to make sure are spot on. So I brought this ECU from Nick on Facebook, who's quite active on the S2000 forums. He is a rep for the company that make it, ECUMASTER, and apart from one tiny problem with a plug-in adapter, everything was being perfect. He sent me a base map, which I already had a base map from the AEM, but obviously you have to transfer it over. That worked perfect, no issues. Car was spot on. Got fan control, aircon control, everything that you want would work. If you want two-step, things like that, that'll still work. It's a very good piece of equipment. I probably could have done with getting the better version, which I think is the black version, but this has got everything I need, and as you can see, there's many options that you can choose. I even contacted ECUMasters to say, is there any way that you can adjust the software so that you can combine data logs together? Because obviously if you only log in for 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, then you're going to have to, well, it's not really going to work data logging wise. Driving for an hour is quite a long time on the road, that is. So I said, is there any way you can combine the logs together? And they said, yeah, next firmware update will do it for you, which is brilliant. So having used AEM, EMS, I find this very easy to use. It's a good piece of software. If I click on, say I do fuel and hit fuel cut. Now if I'm a bit confused, don't understand what it's saying, there you go. Everything you could need to know about that setting, what it does, what it doesn't do. Thorough in-depth manual. So I've had it fitted since August. I had some electrical problems around the same time, not related to the ECU, but to battery being faulty. I've got one of those lithium batteries that was dying, so I had to opt for a traditional red top one, which I've got fitted now, which is more like a lead acid battery, so it's got more capacity and it won't give me any troubles. It's just it was a sensible choice. So that's mounted in the boot. Like I said, factory exhaust fitted, still got a D-cat and the Tegwire manifold. I sold the HKS exhaust to a fella that I met on Facebook. Just too loud for me. That's the main reason I got rid of it. there's no point having a exhaust that is deafeningly loud. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and this brief update of the car. I'll try and get some driving videos when the weather is better. At the moment, just had 3 storms on the trot in the UK, and today I thought I'd take the car out, and the weather has been shocking, so I didn't bother. So thanks for watching. If you like this sort of video or content, then just make sure you send me a comment, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.